Hello and welcome in or welcome back to Clear Channel 333. My name is Yolanda and today I have a message which feels along the line of ancestral communication, like a passing of the torch, a redoing. I'm hearing mending of the past, okay? But please always check the description box before proceeding with any of the messages here on my channel. Prior to starting this message, it was 12:12 and I was going to begin the message, and then there was a bit of an interruption and I had to pause with recording. But I feel like it's in line with the message, as part of the message, because as I waited to begin recording, I gathered more information, okay? And if you could see my table, there is a lot of information I have set out. And but I'm gonna get to the message. I have a channeled message, and then I'm gonna draw out some more information as I was guided to coming to do the message. But 12:12, you may be seeing that number, or it will be significant for you preceding this message. The message from that was 12:12 this night. So either 12:12 this night is going to be significant for you whenever you're seeing this message. But 12:12 at night is actually the next day, okay? So you may be feeling like you're in a type of energy where there's some, I'm hearing discrepancy, but it could feel weird, the time frame that you're in, or the energy you're in at this moment, okay? These could all serve as confirmation for you. But when thinking about 12:12 at night, you're already in the next day, okay? So you could feel like part of you is still behind, while another part of you, aspect of yourself, is moving into something new, okay? Which we call liminal space, okay? So there's some part of you that's in an in-between, and maybe this message will help you clear abilities could be sensitive, but clear up something. Also, I have a lot of written information here. Now, yesterday I did take a channeled message down, which I'm going to read word for word as I took it down, because it's a specific message for someone. But everything else I have here is things that are already written, okay? So it is already written. That phrase could be significant for you, but because it's already written, the message can't be tampered with, okay, is the main thing here. But the flip side of that message, which coincides with this channel message that I have from yesterday, is because things are already written, people want to stick to a script in some sense and don't want to allow for change, or are not comfortable with change, feel like change will disrupt their day-to-day or the way they know how to do things, okay? So it's all part of the message. At the end, I will read the postcard from Spirit, because I just came across it today and it directly coincides with the message I channeled yesterday. So it's definitely a part of this message. And I keep looking back to see what am I forgetting. So that could even be a message. You may feel like you're forgetting something behind. This is like a past life thing. Okay, you may feel like you're leaving aspects of your life behind as you're having to move forward into something new. Moon omens, okay, is going to be very significant for you if you're tapping into this message. Either you already follow them, or you're going to want to go follow them, okay? Because there's information there for you that you're going to need for some reason. Why that is, I do not know. You have to use your discernment and connect the dots, okay? But I'm going to go to this Beloved Dead Oracle deck. Okay, like I said, it's ancestral energy here, message from past over loved ones, but I feel like this is more so ancestors, not so much current life, past over loved ones, but just take it as it resonates for you. This even could be a message from your past life self, one of your past incarnations. Okay. okay? Carnations, flowers, because that just resonated so loud. Carnations, the flower is very significant for someone, but I'm also seeing the can of milk, carnation, okay? 1, 2, 3 is going to be significant. It's like falling into line. Something's falling into line, an initiation into something, but that may fall in line very quickly is how that's coming through. 1973 could be significant. This energy here has a lot to do with Age of Aquarius and accountability and speaking up for yourself and others even. I have 2 books from Moon Omens, which one is the Age of Aquarius, the other is the Moon and the Sacred Feminine, okay? So either of those, I feel like these are confirmations for someone because you already have these items, okay? But if not, maybe this is a suggestion from Spirit to pick them up. There's information there for you that you may need. Now, pertaining to myself, I had the book already, I had it for a few years, and I picked things up to get information as I feel I'm guided to. So you may not be one of those who's an avid reader, okay? An avid book reader, and you acquire information or knowledge in this way. So the first message I have, because this card came out while I was shuffling, and it's competition, definitely in line with the message. And I'm going to read the channeled message first. Also, the number 77 you may be seeing. Now, this message says things are changing and people are very attached to their identities. Fear is playing a big factor in current happenings, and people are lashing out as they try to hold on desperately to what they feel makes them who they are. Okay? People don't want to lose their identity. People don't want to lose the identity that they have tied to their money. Even like as I'm trying to get the message out, I'm stumbling over my words, so that could be confirmation for someone. There's a nervousness in the collective surrounding losing identity, okay? But it's tied to income, wealth, money, financial stability, okay? People don't want to lose the identity that they have tied to their money, how they make their money, their title, their position, their status, okay? And this could be status on any scale, from social media platform to the highest rung is how it's coming through. 811 as I say that. There is something very Akashic in this message, okay? Even cryptic is what I'm getting. So take the message as it resonates, only the portions that resonate with you, although the whole message could be for you. And before I was coming to do this message, the message of sharing this message, okay? Now, I'm not one of those who repeats over and over, oh, like, share, follow, subscribe, all that. I don't do that. So for this message specifically, Spirit is saying, if you found yourself in this message, share this message in particular, okay? Because there's going to be someone you know, or maybe just happens by your own share, okay, to find the message that is needed. But the rest of the message says, people have attached their self-worth and identity to the way they make their money rather than their morals and character. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, divine order, everything falling into line, okay? There's something very, I don't know, there's something very significant about the current energy that will be allowing you to flow into new energy with ease is how it's coming through. It says, this is why there is so much shadow energy and chaos or disruption going on as the universe brings balance back into the occasion. And I put occasion So there's something significant about an occasion, but it should be into the equation, okay? But I mean, I automatic write. So as I'm writing, whatever comes through is the message. Now, I did just make that correction. And this is about making corrections, past corrections, to past lives, past energy, okay? Bringing balance back into the equation. Now, speaking of equations, 12 is 144, okay? So balance back into the equation, 144,000. This has to do with DNA strands, not just chosen ones for whatever you resonate that with or compare it to, okay? This is about a correction. So DNA purification, even so, 144 as I say that. So it says, and what people don't understand is that this is across the board. So this message is not just for those of the spiritual community. It's not just those who are at the highest rung is what came through, or the lowest. Is a message for everyone across the board, okay? It says everyone is being held accountable to where their integrity lies. Do you have integrity? The spiritual community is no exception. Where does or has your moral compass led you? So just me coming in contact or hearing people speak or what have you, observing others. There are those who are in the spiritual community who feel they are exempt from correction or change, or they're not susceptible to anything that's changing around them, as if they're already doing the right thing, okay? I feel like a lot of the upset is with the spiritual community if you just want to keep it all the way 1,000, okay? If you want to keep it 144,000. The spiritual community, I feel like, is getting hit the most severely, was one to come through, but I was like shockingly, like it's a shock and upset to the spiritual community because spiritual people are viewed as the bar, okay? But if you are viewed as the bar, that means you have to be on the up and up, right? Okay, 333 as I say that. So with us coming into the awareness, the Christ consciousness, and the age of Aquarius, accountability, genuineness, unconditional love, and integrity, okay? Speaking up, voicing the truth, living the truth, walking your authentic path. These are all the things that, above anything else, I feel the spiritual community would be held accountable for. And I feel like many of those in the spiritual community are shocked and shaken, like my sister says. But this is the reality of it. And there are not many who are comfortable with this change, okay? It says everyone's heart is being weighed, and rather than people taking accountability for their actions, they are pointing fingers. No, you're the problem, okay? This person or thing is keeping me from doing XYZ. So rather than people taking accountability for their actions and how they are maneuvering, okay, their way through their purpose, life just in general, these are the things that is coming to the awareness, 4, 5, 6 as I say that, of the universe. And the universe has to restore balance. That's why it's important to remain in your integrity. What would you do if you knew no one was watching, okay? What would you do if you knew that everyone was watching? Would you be your authentic self just because you know everyone is watching, okay? So it says the age of Aquarius is all about accountability and authenticity. And if you are not willing to be both of those, you're going to get pulled down in the undercurrent, but it is of your own doing. 543 as I say that. So this is just me giving the message, okay? Because I can't hold anyone accountable. I can only give the message. I can only be accountable for my own actions, okay? And that is also how we have to view how we maneuver in the world, okay? And the message that I got was, we're not here to be martyrs. We're here to co-create. Even with spirit, the universe, our guides, our ancestors, we're here to co-create. This is not an energy of making someone do something that you want them to do. Okay? TikTok can be very significant because I keep seeing the notification symbol at the top, but even the initial T could be significant. As we move throughout our purpose, even when we giving messages here, you can't force someone to receive the message, okay? You can't force someone to do or operate or speak or hold their tongue. Like, you can't force. It's an energy of being here, 0707, as I say this, and it's 70% on my phone. So sevens and zeros you may be seeing, but this is about allowing, okay? This is about tolerance. This is about walking your authentic path no matter what someone else is doing, okay? And I'm sure you've heard it before. It's about flow, not force. Not being a martyr, which I gave part of the message on TikTok earlier, is not subscribing to the energy of, I want to be at the top. I have to be at the top. Everyone has to listen to me. This is not about putting yourself out there to be the sacrificial lamb either, okay? It's not about wanting to be on a pedestal and being viewed as the quote-unquote top dog. The energy that we're in is co-creation. I help you, you help me. What do you not have that I can contribute what I do have in order to make something better, bigger, expand, okay? All the while being accountable to your own portion, okay? So take that message as it resonates. But what I wanted to get into, the message of either your past life self, incarnation, or a passed over loved one who is passing the torch. Now, you could very well be passing the torch to your present self, okay? So just take it as it resonates. And it turns 69% on my phone as I said that. So very well, this could be your past life energy returning to correct something you did in a past incarnation. Incarnation keeps coming through, so it's very significant for someone. We're going to be looking at your current role and the new role you will be taking on, because the message was there is a new role you are taking on. Okay, so wearing a new hat. You may be playing a more significant role in your own life or in the life of someone else. We'll just see. But the competition card came out while I was shuffling, and it is such a message because it is inline. Inline skating could be significant for someone, because I'm thinking of that, but I see the picture of the guys they have skates on, okay? But they're playing, it's like stick ball, street ball, something, okay? Could be a confirmation for you. So this card is the card of competition. It says competition indicates an individual or ancestor who loves watching or participating in sports and games, deriving great pleasure from the race and rivalry, drive and discipline, the thrill and test of mettle. If you receive this card, you could be personally stick handling a contender, drawn into a contest or clash of wills, a battle of wits, or some lively jockeying for position. Competition also looks at your performance style under pressure. This card asks, when you're in a situation that tests your courage and stamina, do you fight to perform well, Or do you listen to monkey mind chatter from the childhood playbook? You're no good. Nobody believes in you. You can't win. Typically, a contest involves two sides or teams, you and fill in the blank. Yet there's a third energy at play, sitting on the sidelines, waiting for directions. Consider this your spirit cheerleader. If you continually doubt your ability, feed the monkeys, or are too hard on yourself, you become a house divided. Your spirit cheerleader follows your unconscious lead, hops over to the opponent's side, and now it's two against you. So in the energy of competition and people feeling like there is competition in whatever realm, okay? For instance, the spiritual community, which I've been speaking on, people not wanting to do things in a new way because they feel like their identity will be taken away. And as far as tarot is concerned, which I've gave the example before, me coming into the world of tarot in such a futuristic and more intuitive way rather than book learned and old world way of reading tarot, there is a discrepancy within readers who are very much so in that old world way of doing things. Okay, so in that way it becomes a competition sometimes with the way things are done, even just the old way of doing things prior to the internet existing. There's this Clash of Titans, so that movie could be significant, but it was just 2:47 on the timer and it's 12:47, so 2:47, that number is going to be significant, which translate into 211, which is like is the number for robbery. Police, that profession could be significant. However, it's like I'm being drawn away from the point of the message, okay, which is there is no competition. There just is what you're here to do, okay? Once you doubt what you're here to do or the way you're doing it is the way you need to do it, you then become your own competition. You add to this energy of, oh, I'm not doing something right, or which someone's already trying to tell you. But it's the energy of, okay, not feeding the negative thoughts, for one. With competition, there is the energy of lack, which is negative. There's not enough room for everyone, which is the heart of this message, because there's room for everyone. We're all co-creating together. So why are we not co-creating in a positive way? Okay. So when we speak about the message of things changing in not only the spiritual community, but in the world at large, things are just simply being done differently, because the ultimate point here is the universe must have balance. It restores balance. It's what it's going to do anyway. So no matter if I came here to give the message about the universe restoring balance, it's going to happen anyway. Spirit comes with these messages to inform, so that people aren't caught off guard, is what I really feel it is. So that you're not resisting change rather than flowing with the change. Now, if the universe removes something from your life, your career, okay? You would want to understand that it's going to be replaced with something equivalent or better, okay? Meaning the universe is not going to leave you hanging. The universe is not going to rip something away or even slowly take something away to where it's comfortable and just leave you without, okay? It's not how the universe works. So I feel like if people understood that, they wouldn't be clenching and grasping for what they feel is going to be taken away. It's a lack mindset, which a lot of the spiritual community teaches, preaches. You can't live in a lack mindset. But a lot of the spiritual community, just by me observing, is in that energy of things are changing. What will I do? What will my identity be? If no one comes to me for direction and guidance, what is my purpose in the world? Okay? And that could be in any situation, because if there is, say for instance, there's a factory, okay? And you have all these factory workers and management changes. They want a fresh team, okay? Now thousands of people are out of work. What do I do now? Okay, it's that type of energy, instead of, okay, this situation has created a new situation for me. I can go do something I want to do, or I can go do something equivalent. Maybe that will be in a better environment for me. Maybe this was taken away so that I can do something else, okay, that's more favorable, more fun, more whatever the case may be. So to wrap up this competition card, it says, the beloved dead of competition is on your side. It reminds you of the importance of self-advocacy. In order to operate at peak performance, choose you. Practice, prepare, set realistic expectations, and eliminate all of the old scripts and rules from your childhood. It's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play your own game. When you create a space for you, or the universe creates a space for you, how will you utilize the space? Is how that message is coming through. Okay. 47 is the number on this page, 11. So you may be seeing 11s a lot. So I'm gonna go to the cards and see what is the current role you're playing. And I opened up to the Grave card, which is transition and change. So somebody you may feel like you're not playing a role. This won't be for everyone, but you may feel like you're not playing a specific role right now. You may be feeling like you're waiting to take on some type of role. So just take it as it resonates. But let's see what this current role is. The current role could be the energy that your ancestor or your past life self held, okay, and is passing the torch to you. So let's see what this current role is. Please and thank you, Holy Spirit. What is the current role the viewer is playing? And somebody may be really unsure. 911 is to say this, and that is a spiritual calling, judgment. You may be unsure. Leadership. You may be unsure, because I was unsure of the card to take. Even I was shuffling the deck like I don't usually do. So it's very significant. But this here, leadership, you're going to be taking on a leadership role. I'm going to read from the guidebook. But on the bottom of the deck, you may feel like you are simply the observer right now. This is an act of love card. It says observation. Okay, so like I said, liminal space. You may feel like you're just waiting to be appointed. Okay, but I'm going to go to the guidebook for the leadership card. Okay, so Spirit is clarifying. This card on the bottom of the deck, observation, that is the current role. Okay, because like my guides, I'm hearing it repeated back to me. You're going to be playing a leadership role. This leadership role is, I got this card off the bottom of the deck. So that is what's coming, what you don't see coming. Okay. And behind that is observation. Now I'm going to read this leadership role card, but I feel like there's something about the current role. I feel like Spirit just wanted me to see that card of observation, because that is the liminal space energy. Okay. You also may be looking to someone I'm opening up to purpose. So definitely that 911 is coming through with spiritual purpose. Okay, your purpose in this world. But someone may be trying to figure out what your current role is. I feel like the current role, someone's trying to figure out something about a past life. Okay, sovereign. This sovereign card speaks about, and the shine card is right behind it. That's what it feels like. And it feels like a disconnect. Because even as I'm trying to draw out the message, it feels disjointed. You may be trying to figure out, because you may feel yourself being ushered into some type of leadership role, you're trying to understand, how does a past life, and it's 5665, I'm looking at, so 1111, what are you being initiated into? Someone may be trying to figure out, someone's trying to connect past life energy with present incarnation energy is what I feel this is. You're meant to shine. 222, as I say that, you're meant to be seen, you're meant to be heard in some type of significant way. Okay, with this leadership, all this here, 2, 3, 4, as I say that, divine order. You're meant to be, and most likely in a public speaking way. You're meant to be seen. The energy could feel the way it does because it's like someone trying to get a grasp on maybe the how you're moving into what you will be moving into. The why was I chosen for this may resonate different for everyone. But this is about stepping into personal power and authority to take on this leadership role. Okay. Polka dots could be significant. So a passed over loved one may have worn polka dots a lot. The message of 333, as I say this, Christ, literally, the message was, we're not here to be martyrs. So this is not throwing yourself under the bus in order to make a point. This is not about, it's about calm change. That's what it is. This is about calm change. In a past life, you may have been an activist. You may have been an activist in a past life, which was done in a more harsh, I'm hearing explosive, which you may have been an activist in a very harsh way. You may have done things in a way that wasn't really favorable to change, is how I want to word that. And so in this new incarnation, things are being done with ease and authenticity and just speaking up, being very vocal about the change you wanted to create, or you're wanting to create, or will be creating, 444 as I say that, in your leadership role. So it's a total 180 than what your soul remembers. Okay, so with the energy of I'm hearing neuroplasticity. Neurosurgeon. Any of that could be confirmation for someone. But with the energy of regulation to the nervous system, it's like this is why you may find yourself doing things that calm you. Okay, I'm hearing when in a state of frenzy, because your soul remembers chaos as you try to create change in the past. Okay, so I'm going to read from the guidebook for this leadership, and it's a leadership role. Okay, and spirit, it's vague for one, but you are here to create change. 555 on the timer. So obviously this has to do with speaking, but I'm hearing the venue, but the setting you're stepping into, it'll be different for everyone. The arena you're stepping in order to create change is going to be different for everyone. So Spirit is just confirming for you that you will be stepping into a leadership position. It says, once upon a time in a small German town, there was a charismatic rat catcher in strange, colorful clothing who told the authorities that for 10 bags of gold, he would rid the town of their nasty rat infection. Infection? It says infestation. There's something about infectious. Let me clarify this right quick. What is this message? Spirit of infectious. And I feel like it's being infectious in a good way, contagious, okay? Whatever it is that you're doing, okay? Clarify this infectious message. Please and thank you, Spirit. Dragons could be significant. Infectious. It's shifting the energy, okay? Whatever you're going to do is going to be infectious. And I said doing things in a more calm and peaceful way. Queen of Cups energy, okay? So rather than being so disruptive in a harsh way, this is about doing things calmly, peacefully, and still having the same effect, okay? Or a better effect. You're going to achieve the goal you want by remaining calm, okay? It says, really? Questioned the old powerful goats, scratching grizzled chins. They weren't convinced that it could be done, but they said, have at her, in German, of course. So off the rat catcher went, an odd fellow called the Pied Piper. I'm pretty sure you've heard the story before. With flute in hand. On it, he played a tune that was evidently a rat chart topper for they all came out of their holes and slop buckets and followed the Pied Piper into the river. Done deal. However, the authorities reneged on their end of the bargain. The Pied Piper didn't get paid, and so retaliated by playing his pipe through town again, and this time leading away all of the children, never to be seen again. So what's the point of this story? It's a useful metaphor to explain the dynamic between authority, leadership, and following. A town or nation culminating in a debt and problems that are much worse than 10 bags of gold. How many times do those with authority make disastrous decisions or abuse their power to order, influence, command, or enforce? And why can spectacles of insidious charisma romanticize wounding, megalomania, or false promises, enchant anyone into thinking, behaving, feeling, or acting in ways they are out of alignment with their highest instincts? When this card is validating an individual, ancestor, or experience, it resonates with skills, reputation, and acknowledgement in the area of leadership. A loved one stepping forward might have been a CEO, mayor, or proprietor of a small business with such strength of character that they were a pillar of the community. The beloved dead of leadership says that respect is earned. It can't be commanded. Anyone controlling by charisma or intimidation in order to cover up their own flaws is a Pied Piper or a tin-pot dictator. Great leaders mentor with integrity and kindness. They live like they lead. They set an example with their own appearance, comportment, and communication. They instill trust and confidence, empowering and strategically setting up others to succeed. If you're taking on the mantle of leadership, this card supports your lion-heartedness and unlimited potential for positive change. By paying forward this gift of gracious leadership, you'll continue to inspire others to grow and flourish past their limitations. If, however, you're smelling a rat catcher at work, or in your personal life, trust your gut, lay low and be patient. They always reveal their true colors. So when speaking about being an activist in a past life, if this resonates for you, you get what the connection is here, okay? This is changing the way things are governed. As a whole, I feel like this is 144 as I say that. Okay, so you may have had someone, and I remember in a reading I did, where the message came through that someone's passed over loved one helped get a bill passed. Okay, so that could resonate with you as confirmation. That's where this message is coming from. Sovereign, claiming your personal power and authority. What else do we need to know here, Spirit? What does the collective need to know? This is a message of you taking a leadership role to help become part of the change. I'm hearing in a more integral way. 246. Maybe seeing that number. So for whoever this message is for, you're taking on a leadership position in a major way. Okay? For some, it may be on a small scale, but for someone or a few of you, this is taking a governmental position is how it's coming through. A governmental position. It did speak about mayor. Confirmation. On the nose. Somebody may say on the nose. Right on the nose. No brown nosing. This was coming through. So somebody maybe a mayoral candidate. Is that how you say that? Just take it as it resonates. Heart of Wands. This is the natural born leader. Feminine energy. You could be the first in your family bloodline to have some type of position of authority. And this is confidence, charisma, creating change. And here's community, creating change in your community. Okay. I'm hearing getting to the heart of things. Excuse me. Getting to the heart of things. 109. That number could be significant, but that is a 10, a brand new beginning. Let me read from the guidebook for this Heart of Wands card. And this is a visionary. Now, the Heart of Wands, this would be, it's the visionary. This would be, I feel like, the activist energy. Okay. And I was going to say confidence, confirmation for someone. You could be having throat chakra clearing, a lot of coughing, a lot of feeling like you are congested, like something going on in this area. Okay. I'm hearing it's preparation. It's preparation. Okay. You're being prepared to speak. This card says, oh, and this is 101. It is 110 on the clock. So 101, that number is a number of getting back to basics, but it's giving me like school. Somebody may have went to college for communications. Okay, so just take it as it resonates. But it says, your fire burns too bright for some. Your intense gaze unsettles others. That's okay. You didn't come into this life to make other people feel comfortable. You're just doing your own thing. Be unique. Be fierce. Be kind and be funny. Take up space without apology. Luxuriate in your own presence. Do what lights you up and makes you feel alive. Don't settle for lukewarm. While some people will shy away from you, others will be drawn like moths to a flame. You have a unique magic, genuine and confident. And you make people feel special when you decide to turn your attention towards them. Your intuition is always bang on. And your creativity crackles around you like wildfire. Wildfire. It was 111 at a time, but I want to say wild fireflies. It was like kind of all meshing together. Give your intuition and creativity an outlet for expression. Give them form. When you focus on what you're passionate about, the results astonish. Spirit, the universe, your ancestors, your past life self, okay, is giving you an outlet, okay? A platform is what this is. You're being initiated into your leadership position, okay? So I'm going to close this message with this postcard from Spirit. France could be significant for someone. There's something significant about a love letter, or someone may have found a old letter from a pastor of a loved one. Just take it as it resonates. Or someone, what's also coming through is someone wrote a love letter to themselves, like their future self or your past self. Just take it as it resonates. But it says, "Dear you, human beings spend a huge percentage of life asleep. Not just in bed, but the kind where you forget you are a spiritual, immortal being taking on a temporary human form. It's not your fault. Everyone suffers from spiritual amnesia once in a while. As you develop an identity, an ego, you begin to see through the eyes of a small self and have less connection to your soul self. You may not recognize this is going on, but you sure can feel it. So if you're feeling uncomfortable in this liminal or transitional space, it's because you're supposed to. You're outgrowing your smallness is how it's coming through, okay? You're being prepared to take up more space in this world. We're here to remind you to look through your soul's eyes and see the magic is everywhere. Infinite potential lies in Spirit, who is teaming with you to fulfill the contract you made to contribute to the evolution of the whole world. Wake up and remember that all the help you need is orchestrated in the invisible realms. Your mind, in alignment with divine intelligence, is unstoppable. The world is yours to co-create. You are so loved and we are all behind you. So with that being said, this is your message. I hope it was helpful in the way you needed it most. Take care.